Let's talk about Lot. Yeah, that Lot. The guy who somehow made it out of Sodom, but didn't quite make it into the Hall of Faith. His story starts out promising, then unravels like a pair of clearance rack sandals. Let's break it down. Lot was Abram's nephew. When God told Abram, "Leave your father's house," that call didn't include Lot. But Abram brought him anyway. Family, right? Now Lot wasn't just tagging along. He started prospering. Dude had flocks, herds, tents. He was doing well. But when the land couldn't support both Abram's and Lot's livestock, Abram said, "Pick wherever you want, and I'll go the other way." And Lot looked around and chose Sodom. Because of course he did. To be fair, the land was lush and green. But Genesis 13:13 literally says, "Now the people of Sodom were wicked and were sinning greatly against the Lord." And Lot said, "Yeah, but the property taxes are low." So he pitched his tents near Sodom. Next thing we know, he's living in Sodom. Then he's sitting at the city gate, which means he was part of the inner circle. Lot didn't just live in Sodom, he became Sodom adjacent. Now here's where it gets wild. God decides to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, and before he sends fire from heaven, he sends 2 angels to check it out. They roll up to town and Lot's like, "Don't stay out here. These streets are wild. Come to my place." Noble move. But then the men of the city surround his house, demanding the visitors come out so they can, well, violate them. And Lot offers up his 2 virgin daughters instead. Let that sink in. To protect strangers, he offers up his daughters. This wasn't just fear. This was compromise that had rotted his core. The angels shut the door, blind the mob, and tell Lot it's time to go. And what does Lot do? He hesitates. Fire's about to fall, and this man is stalling like he forgot where he put his passport. Genesis 19:16 says the angels literally had to grab his hand and drag him out. That's mercy. That's grace. But it's also a little embarrassing. Then, because Lot is Lot, he tries to negotiate. "Can I go to this small town instead? I'm not really a mountain guy." Even as Sodom is burning, Lot is still negotiating deliverance. His wife? She looks back, instantly becomes a pillar of salt. Because Sodom wasn't just behind her, it was in her. And then we get to the part nobody teaches in Sunday school. Lot and his daughters go live in a cave. The daughters think the world has ended, so they decide to repopulate. With their dad, they get him drunk 2 nights in a row, and each one sleeps with him. Lot is so gone, the Bible says he didn't even know it happened. And yes, this is in the Bible. Each daughter has a son. One becomes the father of the Moabites, the other the father of the Ammonites. Both nations would later become enemies of Israel. And just like that, Lot disappears from the story. No final words. No moment of redemption. Just cave silence. Lot was rescued, but not remembered. Saved, but scarred. Spared, but never settled. So what's the lesson here? Lot lived too close to compromise. He lingered where God said to leave. He adjusted to wickedness and called it home. And when the time came to move, he couldn't even run. God had to pull him out. Let me ask you, how many times has God had to drag you out of a situation you should have left a long time ago? How many times have you stayed in comfort and called it peace? Lot didn't start off wicked. He was connected to Abram. He saw God's power firsthand. But he never let it change him from the inside out. He hesitated when it mattered. And here's the truth. Hesitation in a holy moment can cost you everything. Lot wasn't evil. He was just attached to people, places, comfort, and compromise. And in the end, He was remembered for where he lived, not who he followed. Don't be like Lot. When God says, move, run. When God says, let it go, don't look back. When God calls you out of comfort, don't negotiate, just obey. Because sometimes, the greatest mercy God can give you is a forced exit from a dangerous place. And if that's what He's doing in your life right now, dragging you out of a mindset, a relationship, a city, a compromise, thank Him. Because fire was coming, and grace came first.